Hey guys, welcome back. We're about to start game 2 of Tongfu versus Navi. Can they come back after that absolute beating in game 1? I'm not so sure, but if you remember TI2, there was that one game where they got stomped like crazy, and then they had smiles on their faces in the next draft. I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah, didn't they get like 17 0'd or something by Night Stalker? And I think that was actually against IG.
Yeah, I think it was.
David, was it against
versus
IG?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
That was the game before the play,
Yeah.
I believe.
So
then they were like, oh, well, Juggernaut. And everybody's like, what? Juggernaut? What is going on? Anyways, we're into the draft. We can hop into the game now. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, by the way. This is Purge. I'm here with Blitz. I don't have a hoodie anymore. No longer the hoodie cast.
shout out to Nixino Moon. See, I did it.
Thanks for watching.
Okay, so Navi this game, as stupid as it sounds, they can't do what they did last game.
Really?
You can't just group up as 5 and decide to prematurely push without any ganks. As I said before, and I can't stress this, if you group up as 5 and you just try to push down a tower like that, you're essentially going into a funnel and letting the other team set up. They get more farm time out of it too.
Definitely.
If you're not able to push that very quickly. And Navi with their lineup wasn't able to. I mean, how many tower pushers did they really have, right? They had great creep clearing ability, but they didn't have anything like the Dragon Knight with the poison or anything like that. So, and they had like a tree that was level 5. You're not even going to have the luxury of having his ultimate. So
yeah, he's basically a really... I mean, he's got living armor, and he's got a really, really weak disable that does some heal. And that's all he can impact. And they knew that they were probably going to lose that game, because Gyrocopter, yeah, sure, he can maybe out-farm a Spectre, but, I mean, with Spectres already ahead, the hero just does so much more damage in ganking and stuff like that. So, first pick out of Navi is going to be a Darkseer. That's going to allow them to pressure any melee heroes that Tongfu ends up working with. They end up banning the Wisp once again, still fearing that hero. And Navi with an interesting... Alchemist ban. Not too surprised to see the Visage, because Visage was used to pretty great effect in the last game. The extra burst damage that support hero throws out on carries and heroes out of position is just really strong.
yeah, and also maybe not wanting to pick it first and not wanting to give it up in the latter 2 heroes. So good ban by Navi, I feel. It really feels like Tongfu, for the most part, are targeting a lot of Funix heroes, in fact. Maybe thinking that his pool is a little bit limited. Taking out the Wisp and the Bat Rider. Last time, I think they also pick up the clock and they banned, what is it? I can't actually remember now off the top of my head, but we have seen Funix play quite a large variety of long lane heroes. So Windrunner actually was one of the ones I've seen him play fantastically on before.
Yeah.
But not having a lot of success that game. What I want to talk about, Kevin, is that Enchantress play. Creating space all over the map, just flawlessly rotating from lane to lane, being able to set up ganks. And they just felt so seamless every time she did it too.
Yeah, she may have gotten a little lucky with some of the creeps. Like, she had a Centaur and Ursa Clapper to set up on Dendi. He got stunned by the Dragon Knight. The Centaur was in position to get his stun off, and then the Clapper to throw on extra damage right when his refraction wore off. I mean, it was all perfect from Banana, and scoring that kill on him twice. I mean, the first one was the most crucial, because at that point you can snowball a little bit, but they even got a kill on Funnick on the offlane. I mean, it just created space in all the areas they really needed to. Clockwork did as best as he could top, and it didn't really matter, because all he really needed to do when the team fight happened was get a cog and a hook shot off on one hero. And once they started it off like that, they can pick off a hero. It's a 5v4, and Navi's just in a losing fight. So, I mean, they played that game perfectly defensively, and they reacted perfectly as well.
Yeah, that positional play by Tongfu in general seemed seamless. That's the kind of Tongfu I wanted to see. They played more objective-based Dota this time too, being able to take towers with kills, being able to accurately chase and read situations. That felt like a really clean Tongfu, as opposed to what we saw yesterday when they played against Orange, and they just felt kind of out of sorts. They were disarrayed a lot, but really good play by Tongfu in general, and this time they're going to pick up the Gyrocopter and the Dragon Knight. What do you make of this?
Well, Gyrocopter's pretty good against Darkseer offlane if you can lock him down a bit. Rocket Barrage is so fantastic versus DS, because we don't see DS going for Magic Immunity or Magic Resistance very much lately. It's been a lot of mechs, actually, so if he has pretty low HP, or only 900 or so, Rocket Barrage can do like 600 magic damage at level 4, so can really eat through that hero by a lot. And Homing Missile as well is really good at disabling him. So as a whole, Gyrocopter's a pretty good carry against him. So it's so far so good for Tongfu.
Yeah, going back to that Dragon Knight, that tower pushing ability by Dragon Knight just seems brutal to play against. And the stun initiation, it never really feels like people are prepared for it, does it? Like once he pops the Elder Dragon form,
Yeah.
the stun just seems to kind of like fly across the map.
Yeah, the range increase that it gives you is really effective, and it's a huge stun duration. It's 2.5 seconds, which I believe is equivalent to a level 1 roar, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't do as much damage, of course, but I mean, it only does 25 damage, so it does virtually none. But the stun duration is huge, and the cooldown is also pretty low. So really great skill, and all-around strong hero on Dragon Knight. He can do a little bit of everything, but not really excel super hard at one thing.
Yeah, it just seems like a really safe pick in general. Tongfu kind of going back to their strengths. This time, though, Navi, they're picking up some of their big ones. They've got the Dark Seer for Funnick. That should be a lot easier than the Windrunner game was last game. And they've got a Chen now for Navi and Puppy. We've seen what he can do on that hero.
He can control creeps.
He's pretty good at that.
Micro them effectively.
He does some micro stuff.
Yes, we saw some great micro out of him at TI2 as well. Played Lycan a few games. That was pretty fun.
That wolf.
That Lycan
block.
play. He like killed the
rune.
regen rune or something, and then blocked him in by the secret shop. It was so cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure he can handle that hero. So will be fun to see his sendbacks and things like that. Chen is a little bit weaker now maybe than he was in the past because the Test of Faith, his second skill is now linked to the sendback, so it won't be as strong early as it was in the past. And it costs a bit more mana, which oftentimes will require the Chen to go for Arcane first, but even still, the hero is still very powerful. Not necessarily as strong in the early game as Enchant. I think Enchant is definitely a better early ganker because you can control more creeps, but the mid game of Chen is a lot stronger defensively. You have an AoE heal, you can send back allies, and the Test of Faith nuke is still pretty good.
Yeah, and also the heal, you know, it's global. It hits anywhere on the map, so it can turn around ganks really easily for the other lanes. And although you don't put out as much damage as an Enchantress does later on in the game, just because Impetus is going to be more useful, the nuke early is a lot more reliable. The test of the send back is actually huge as well. If you can surge somebody back, send them back, they should almost always be safe. So, and on top of that, you know, you actually get to keep your creeps.
Yes, they stay with you.
Yeah.
Unless your opponent gets like Hand of Midas or Helm of the Dominator or something.
How troll would that be if like 3 people on Tongfu just got Helm of Doms and a Midas, and then as soon as Puppy enters the fight, it just like completely turns around its Animal Farm.
Wow, that sounds like a really good strategy to neuter a hero that is a 4 position. And probably doesn't contribute much other than that. I think that, I mean, that's actually a mistake.
How sick would that be, though?
But think of a Puppy's micro. His micro is super good. If all of a sudden he only has to control 1 hero, he's perfect, you know? Like, that's whatever happens to me. It's like, oh, my creeps died. Well, now here comes attack moving and all this other stuff that I couldn't do before. Here we go,
Kevin. Just bear with me for a second, okay?
Okay, I'm bearing with you.
Tongfu, they get 3 Helm of Dominators, okay?
Okay.
And then Navi, they see that, they're like, you know what? We're not going to let this slide. They get 3 Helm of Dominators.
Oh, wow.
So once the fight starts, Puppy sends his creeps in.
Why are we stopping at 3? It should be 5.
Okay, everyone has a Helm of Dominator, and then it's just kind of like a control battle.
Can we get a Spirit
just
Bear?
ignore the game.
Can we get a Spirit Bear with a Soul Ring and Helm of Dominator, so one team will have 6 Helm of the Dominators?
Yeah, you just... That's... Oh, yeah, that's right. You can use the Soul Ring to artificially clone yourself some mana.
Yeah.
But that would be... How cool would that be? I want to see somebody do that. If you do that in a pub game and you submit it to me, I'm going to force Kevin to cast that.
Okay, guys, get on that. It's important. Okay, banding out. We have an Enchantress band. Great hero counter to Chen. It's the Helm of the Dominator strat, like we were just talking about. Enchant is a little bit cheaper than a Helm of the Dominator. Clockwork band out as well. It was used effectively by Tongfu in the last game. And hard carry bands by Tongfu, they're scared of Spectre, and they also don't like dealing with Weaver, apparently.
Yeah, especially since they don't really have any lockdown disables aside from the Dragon Knight. And judging by this, it doesn't really look like they're too interested in picking up another one. And Weaver's one of those heroes that if you kind of give room to, it just absolutely devastates you.
Yep.
You know what hero I want to see? A Storm Spirit.
Why is
by
that?
Navi. No disables on Tongfu.
There's a Shadow Demon.
There's like
hero,
a stun.
And Shadow Demon's been getting
stun.
like first round banned recently, but made it all the way to the 3rd pick stage. Do they play? Yeah, Dendy does play Storm Spirit a moderate amount. We do see him pick the hero sometimes. It can happen. How does he match up versus Dragon Knight, though?
Pretty decently, actually. The Breathe Fire is a little bit annoying, but Tongfu actually, hold that thought, they're going to pick up a Magnus. That should be their off lane.
Huh.
I like the nerf that Magnus saw. Just the damage nerf from his ultimate. It makes it feel like the ultimate still has game-breaking ability, but in the early game, it doesn't just one-shot heroes anymore, where you ultimate, you do your combo, and then no matter who it is, they're dead.
Yeah. Unless there's like a Queen of Pain or something, they can blink away. But even still, like, you're going to take the skewer damage and the shockwave, it's pretty scary. If they can phase him out of the lane, it will hurt him a lot, because getting into level 6 is so important, but... Wow.
Oh, God, I'm so good at this! Dendy gonna pick up the Storm Spirit. That has to... I mean, it just feels perfect for a situation like this.
What about Magnus, though? They got an extra stun now, man.
I guess, but you can initiate on the Magnus, especially since he's gonna go for that quick Orchid build. and you can essentially render him useless. And
Assuming you don't die.
yeah, so for
Or he
Dendi
gets
to die
disrupted.
here, he's going to actually, even if Dendi is the first person targeted, the best thing about Storm is that he soaks up the attention, and it makes it so that whatever hero that Havas decides to play is going to have a really easy time.
And he could be sent back as well. If Storm Spirit jumps in, Orchids pulls a Magnus, gets sent back, he can still TP back to a tower, and then Ball Lightning back into the fight and get there pretty fast. So he has some potential to do some tricky things as well.
Yeah, it really feels like they were like, okay, you know what? We're going to go for more of our playstyle. This is a really aggressive playstyle by Navi. They've picked up a lot of heroes that kind of dive in, a lot of team fight. So I'm actually a lot more excited to see this in Tongfu with a lot of team fight, though. I mean, it's going to be difficult for Navi to fight this. The Elder Dragon form, Shadow Demon, obviously to disrupt, Magnus's ultimate, and Gyrocopter's call down. There's a lot of combos here to be dealt with.
I like the Darkseer Jakiro combo though. It's so easy. Like, you throw down the AoE stun and you can vacuum on top of it. Same goes with like Dual Breath and other things. A Doom pickup from Tongfu. They're going to hard counter pick the Storm Spirit. Is this a jungle Doom?
That's definitely a jungle Doom by the looks of it. You have to essentially jungle Doom unless you want to do like a support Gyrocopter, which we have seen in the past, but it doesn't seem like that's going to essentially be the case here. So Doom going to be picked up in return for Tongfu, and man, that is an annoying hero for Dendi to deal with.
Yeah,
Even if he gets a BKB, just absolutely shuts the hero down for quite some time.
They could go for a Lincoln Sphere this game. If you look at the abilities of Tongfu, they can break a Lincoln's with Homing Missile, they can use Dragonite Stun, which is unlikely, Shadow Demon Disruption or ulti.
Oh, I love this pickup.
There's not that much there.
The Naga, it's going to be a good counter initiate, so if Dendi gets stunned or doomed or RP'd, then the Naga just runs in, sleeps, and then they can reset the fight. So let's introduce the lineups. This time I will be reading off the Tongfu lineups, leaving Navi for Kevin. We've got King J playing the Magnus, San Sheng, our 4-player, so definitely going to be playing a Jungle Doom by the looks of it. We've got Banana, the All-Star, for my MVP actually for the few games I've seen him, going to be playing that Shadow Demon. Mu going to once again be playing that Dragon Knight, and Hao going to be picked up by that Gyrocopter.
And for the Radiant Team Navi, currently down 0-1. We've got Funnick playing Darkseer on the bot lane, Havos playing Naga Siren, Dendi is going to be playing Storm Spirit. We've got Kuroki playing Jakiro, and the last player is going to be Puppy on the Chen. Now, one thing about the Jungle Doom I'd like to point out is that they don't really have very strong supports to defend this guy. If he is jungling, they could pressure him. He does have Sentry Ward, so his camps getting blocked is not going to be that big of an issue. But if Puppy decides to pressure this Doom at all, he's honestly going to have a tough time jungling.
Yes, Kevin, but Ice Rod recently upped his armor, making him an unstoppable beast.
He has 0 right now. What's going on? Is this normal?
Yeah, but now he doesn't have negative.
Oh,
That's
he
the
went
key
from.
here.
Did he go from -1 to 0? Is that what happened?
Yeah, now because the Agi bumps him up,
Uh-huh.
so now he doesn't lose that. And so now Doom's unstoppable. This plate mail, like, it looks like he's wearing all this armor, and he looks like a god, but he's actually like just like the most pithy weak.
He's made out of white bread that you buy at the store for $1. I mean,
I think white bread would give you more protection than what Doom has apparently.
Okay.
Considering he has negative armor.
man, let's see where Puppy goes though. They blocked 2 of his large camps, so the first large camp and this large camp. They also blocked this medium camp. So he's going to be in some trouble here. The pull camp can give him some big creeps, but in a second he's going to be like, okay, there's obviously nothing here. There's a sentry on Kuro. Wow, they saw this coming big time, and the first one goes down. Are they going to predict the second one is the question. They might want to save the second sentry for an observer ward, though. They're pinging toward, they're just going to wait 5 seconds. They're going to see what doesn't spawn, and from there we'll see if they can deduce where the actual observer wards are.
And this is huge, too, just because Puppy, he won't lose any time on these creeps at all. And if they had waited until after, then they'd have some issues, but correctly ascertaining that there is going to be a ward right there, going to deward it really quickly, Puppy should be just fine. Picking up the Satyr Tormentor off the bat. And in the mid lane, I'm so excited to see this. Dendi's going to be pulled regen. Picking up a Null Talisman to start with. Mu not exactly pulled regen, but he's got his bottle already.
Really lucky start off for the Doom here. He picks up the Troll Warlord on his first camp. This is by far the best jungling camp for him, unless you want to do like tornado stacking, for example. So he can now spawn skeletons for 50 mana, and these have some really good DPS actually. So he'll be able to take out large and small camps quite easily, not even have to worry about Puppy harassing him too much.
Yeah, and it looks like Mu's having just an okay time. And King J at bottom, he is already level 2. I don't actually know how that happened, but I guess since Kuro is actually pulling this entire time, it's doing okay. But he has to be really careful, just because the Jakiro and the Naga should be able to kill him. And Snare and a Riptide available.
And we'll see. His being a little greedy at the moment, but If he does get out of position, he can always do the skewer away, so I think he's going to be okay. Where's Puppy going, actually? He's coming around from to the jungle. This was spotted by the Dire Ward, by the way, so King J is going to back up a bit, and now he's actually going to spot him out here, so now they see Puppy's going to probably nuke this guy. He doesn't have to worry about this too much. Shockwave is a really, really solid early game nuke, and there it is. 93 damage after resistance. You can cast this like 6 times.
Yeah, that wasn't exactly the best creep you want to get for trying to gank from behind, but they should be able to try to attempt to pull, or push here, I mean. Crow's attacking this range creep here, so it looks like they want to pressure this tower early. That's something Navi wasn't able to do the previous game, take any towers out. So I think this game they want to have a little bit more of a presence, and King J actually going to be spammed out. He's netted.
Here comes the Ice Path. He's going to walk into it. Actually, Puppy uses Test of Fate. There's a skewer coming through, and he is going to go down. That's the first blood. Puppy going to be running for his life, but they need some creeps to block this. He's got to be careful, but they score the first blood, and a really nice pickup. This is going to give Shadow Demon some EXP, but shutting down the Magnus this early is going to help out a lot.
Yeah, that just felt a little bit sloppy by King J. I think if he skewered the other way, he would have been just okay, just because Banana was perfectly positioned there just to come in with the Disrupt. But actually trying to get the kill on Puppy just felt a little bit greedy.
Dendy on the mid lane was pulled a bunch of regen, by the way. He started with the Null Talisman, double Ironwood, the Salve and the Tango coming from Puppy. That's actually a hero that really doesn't need any starting items at all to be effective, so pretty lucky for him that Chen could spend so much on regen.
He's actually doing fantastically. He's got 19 CS already. He's actually got 20 compared to the 10 right now of Moo, and Moo has 0 denies at this point, and that's going to be huge for a hero like Storm Spirit. Just being able to get a really quick level 6 on this guy is huge. I mean, at 3 minutes, he's almost level 5. And that's absolutely such a fantastic start for Dendy.
He is dropping his Null Talisman on the ground as he bottles up to get a little extra mana out of it. A little bit of a greedy play, but as Dragon Knight is a melee hero, he doesn't have to worry about losing it, so works out for him to get him a couple more mana points. Might pay off later. Banana in position on the mid lane to possibly gank. He's a level 3 already as a support here. This is pretty surprising to see. But there's not that much mana on Dragon Knight, so even if he can stun, they won't have damage to back it up.
And King J at this bottom lane, just watching Crow try to jungle out. He's trying to steal some creeps, but not being able to. Puppy still only has this Satyr Tormentor, so not going to be able to really pressure too much. Looks like he's going to camp this bottom lane.
Banana will take some damage. He puts the creep in. Now right-clicking a bit. We'll see a Soul Catcher, though.
King
This is
J
a little scary. The Skewer's going to push him back, and he's taking bonus damage. Your Puppy is most likely going to go down. Shadow Poison as well, and they do score a kill. So he wasn't expecting both Banana as well as the Magnus to be there. So Puppy ends up feeding a bit, unfortunately for him. The Satyr Tormentor also out of mana completely. So this guy can't really do much other than maybe jungle the small camp in the meantime.
He had a good life. It's retirement for this buddy.
Yeah. Thank you, Ice Frog nerf. So he gets an extra 3 nukes out of this.
Actually, Doom doing quite well for himself. He's level 4, and wow, this guy has picked up the best creeps. He's got a Wild Ring Ripper ready, and he's just done a stack right now.
Oh wow, he is. Well.
Yeah. And he's actually going to be such a big hero too, just because with the Doom, if they can get it going early on Dendy, that's actually going to neutralize the hero entirely. And for a 4-position hero, that's huge.
Well, he's level 4 now. He picks up a Centaur creep instead. He's going to pick up a bottle, most likely some boots to follow up afterwards. Not really sure. Yeah, he does have a boots finished already, so he will be able to gank with this. If he hits 6 and picks up a Doom on the mid lane with something like a Dragon Knight stun, this could be a huge timing window for them. And they might even need an Observer Ward up here, because it can't be that hard of an initiation. Just a Dragon Knight stun into Doom, maybe a Centaur stun, and Dendy could end up like he did last game.
Yeah, but Dendy doing so well. He's sitting in the lap of luxury right now. He's level 6 right now with 33 CS, 10 denies at 5 minutes. That is absolutely fantastic. Picks up a Smoke of Deceit. Looks like he wants to get aggressive early. Gonna go on Moo. Puppy gonna follow up with the Satyr. There's that damage you were talking about.
I don't think they're going to be able to pick him off. They did score the kill on the Magnus on the bot lane, though. Those with a net into Ice Path Dual Breath worked out quite good for them. So they do get a kill. No kill on the mid lane, though, for Navi, but picking up the Magnus a second time on the bot lane is definitely great. He's still at level 4, and they're going to be able to pressure the tower off of this kill.
Yeah, Banana, again, with that key positioning, he was ready for that, especially with the DD rune up on Dendy. Really obvious in the top. How's going to die for Funnick. Rocket Barrage doing so much right now.
There's the Surge. He doesn't have enough tangos to get through. He's going to try to stop How. Will he be enough? Not enough. One more hit and you would have survived. It's the TP now.
Is he going to get
Ice
picked
Path
off?
gets it. Kuro, great call there. He doesn't have enough mana to do another Rocket Barrage. He's doing some damage, but the creeps are there, and he might be able to get How. He does have boots, and How spending money. He's just standing still. He knows it's way over. So solo EXP to Kuro. That puts him up to level 6 already. It's a little costly because the Darkseer goes down, but Kuro at 6 could do a lot of damage early on.
Yeah, and what a dive. That didn't really seem like it was too worth it, especially since Kuro got so much out of that, and he picks up a kill. This feels more like not the Navi that we're used to seeing. Just a lot of pressure being created everywhere. Good support rotation by them.
We see a smoke actually from the support here. I don't know if Dendy spotted that or not. It did blow a bit into the mid lane, but they're going to try to do it. Here comes the stun with disruption, I guess.
King
or
J's
maybe
coming
disruption
too,
first.
actually.
Okay, they won't have a huge disable, though. It's going to have to be Dragon Tail into something else, unless they do disruption first. He's going high ground, tries to catch Dendy, doesn't get him, though. Dendy backs off just in time.
And Puppy waiting right there with the Centaur creep as well.
He cannot
Dendy's just
send
gonna
back,
wait this
though.
out.
He's 20 mana short, so if he does get caught, it's going to be scary.
Dendy gonna pick up 2 more creeps there. He's at 40 CS right now. I think actually he should be... No, he's actually 3rd right now to the 2 farmers on the short lanes, but doing quite well, especially ahead of the Dragon Knight. But at the same time, something we haven't seen in a bit, this Doom, he's level 6 now. He's got 1,000 gold as well, and a bottle, and a wand. Doing really quite well for himself in this jungle. He's actually picked up a War Stomp.
Snag a Midas afterwards?
Maybe it would accelerate his farm quite a bit, but it's such a greedy build. It would actually work quite well against the Chen. As we talked about, Kevin.
One of the 5 Midas and or Helm of the Dominators that their team should be picking up if they knew what they were doing, guys.
They're getting close to it. They realize my strategy. We need to set a higher stream delay.
Yeah, 25 minutes, guys. It's the only way. Going for a topper, and actually he's going to take some Dragon Knight damage, and Dragon Knight's going to throw the first stun. They don't have a good follow-up, though. Here's the Ice Path, going to do some damage. Fun if he gets disrupted.
Is the Doom going to come off?
Here comes the Doom. He gets the ball lighting out. He's going to be able to survive. That was so close. I'm sure Dendy was absolutely terrified there in the net on Mu as he does escape. That was very close. The animation was coming through from Sansheng there, but he did not get the cast off, so Dendy able to survive.
Yeah. And the hasted Dragon Knight is going to try to get gone on at a mid. Sansheng, he's going to get on by Doomed.
Dendy is crazy, man. He goes high ground on the mid lane. He is taking a little bit of burn damage, but can the Chen save him? This poison's going to put him really low. I'm pretty sure he's going to die unless Puppy sends him back. He doesn't have the mana. They're going to have to deny. And he does. Puppy gets the deny. 1 stun from Mu now. Man, Dendy's crazy. There's 2 heroes under tower, and he's like, let's fight, Doom.
This seems like a good time to do this, but I think he thought of the 0 armor. I thought that was a good idea. And Mu dropping dangerously low. The call down comes in from Hao.
Funnick running for
One
his life.
more
Couple
hit.
hits. Gets him. Just barely. And a turn of events here with 2 Navi heroes going down. Just imagine if Chen had his arcane boots, by the way. Like, he would have been able to send Dendy back. Maybe Darkseer wouldn't have died as well, but he just didn't have the mana. He's not even level 6 either.
Yeah, and King J actually picking up quite a bit there. He's level 5 now. He's doing quite well for himself. And Funnick does drop there. He's actually got no farm whatsoever. Nor does the Magnus either, but...
He's got Soul Ring. It's pretty cool.
He does have a Soul Ring, but the mech that is really key on a hero like that, it's not going to come anytime soon.
Yeah, that is really true. I assume that Chen is going to have to pick up the arcane boots. He's at 900 gold right now. If he can get that extra mana, it'll be very useful. And for now, he's just buying smokes. Kuroki, as well as him, are going to go gank. So it's going to be a Jakiro setup. Maybe they can do a vacuum into this or something, but I think they're going to try to kill Hao. And this is definitely a gankable hero with the Chen, because they don't have to worry as much about the backlash from Rocket Barrage, because they will have a Centaur in melee range blocking a lot of the damage.
Yeah. More to the point, Mu continues to farm. You know, that dive by Dendy, it felt a little crazy, but I just think because of the 1 armor that the Doom had and how low he was, I think he was thinking that, oh, I'll be able to burst this in time, and worst comes to worst, I'll be able to get out. But the Doom was available to him, and it was just a little too aggressive. But bottle going to go back. King J actually has a bottle on the chicken, so he's not actually that poor. He's getting really close to level 6, and I think once that happens, they'll want to force fights, just because he's not really going to get a Blink Dagger anytime soon.
Sports are set up. They're going to go on the Gyrocopter most likely. He does get spotted. Here comes the Ice Path. Ice Path catches him. Dual Breath as well. Centaur gets surged for. This is so sick. He's looking for the stun. A little bit of miss micro from Puppy, though. And here comes the stun. It's going to miss. Centaur goes down. Really cool idea there. I love the surge on the Centaur to get him in position, but they weren't quite ready for him there, and I think they got scared.
Yeah, and a quick TP came in from Banana, and it looked like they just realized, well, we actually don't do that much damage.
Yeah.
Like, we actually don't have any of our damage dealers here. This actually isn't going to work, so they abandoned that. Just seemed like a little bit more of a wasted time than anything.
On the bright side, Naga's farming really, really well in the bot lane. She's up to 1,800 gold. She has an Aquila, Poor Man's Shield, and a Tread, so a lot of base agility on this, and she's level 9. So Riptide's maxed out. Her other skills are okay at the meantime. And maybe she'll be able to farm a win for them. She doesn't have to go the Radiance build, for example. She could just do Diffusal Blades and gank a lot early.
Yeah, and all 3 heroes still atop. It looks like Tongfu is aware of this. Sansheng is waiting in this corner right here. Looks like he's actually going to rush for a mechanism right now.
Yeah,
realizing
I like
that nobody
build.
else on his team is going to get it.
He does have no armor, so it's pretty cool.
Now he's got 13.
Yeah, that's insane, man. Buckler is good. The active is great as well. You can give 2 armor to yourself and your creeps. And, oh, man, he throws the ulti to kill a creep. Did that just happen?
Wait, was it low?
Yeah. But I think it died before the damage
Yeah, I think
was
it died,
done, so
obviously. It seemed like it...
I just don't see that being worth 200 mana there. I don't know.
I mean, it was spiteful. And as you know, Kevin, I'm a spiteful player.
Yeah, I think he did that because he didn't have either a Helmet Dominator or a Hand of Midas. He was like, this is what's to come for later. It was like
They're
sending
stealing
a
my
message.
strategies, man.
Yeah.
I really don't like that. I should copyright my intellectual property, but
You should
Moo's going to
definitely.
pick up, instead of going for that Shadow Blade build, it looks like he's going to go for a fast BKB, realizing that there's a lot of issues from this game if you weren't to rush that BKB, and Hao's going to go the same route as well. Looks like they're comfortable with the damage they have, just from the heroes they have.
And Naga Siren goes for a Yasha first off. So, cool thing about the Yasha here, it really increases the movement speed of you and your illusions. You can actually farm pretty fast with this as well. It's going to limit his damage or gank potential, but he hasn't really been messed with yet, so I think it's kind of a fun build, and stacking green items on Agi heroes is always the thing to do.
He's got 93 CS right now. It feels like he's ungankable unless the Doom were to rotate down here.
Yeah, if he gets doomed, he will die, or at least he won't be able to cast his ulti.
But with the ultimate, it leaves him relatively safe from all ganks.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I really like that Doom pickup by Tongfu. It just feels really necessary here, and it seems like it can do a lot.
And he picks up Arcane Boots, which is a nice item choice. Doom's int in the early game is actually really weak. His int gain is pretty solid with an int gain of 2.1. But yeah, in the early game it's not very good. And if you do pick up a mech, even if it's on a weird hero that doesn't have a good int pool, you can completely solve this by grabbing an Arcane Boot. So you can always disassemble this later if you want something else. So I like the choice.
Actually, mid being pressured by Tongfu right now. They're sending 3 heroes in, including Sun Shang. The support Doom, big fan of it, as I said. It shuts down a lot of the heroes that Navi have right now. And it makes it so that Dendi can't just initiate.
It's also counters to Chen as well, which might be another reason they picked it up.
Counters
'cause,
like everybody.
Yeah, he can devour the creeps. He didn't use it on a creep just now. He's going to be saving it. The only downside is it has to be good creeps, preferably centaurs, and he has picked that up for the extra AoE stun, which is going to be very, very useful against heroes like Dendi.
Yeah, when he rolls in, you just throw the stun.
Maybe get lucky. 2-second stun is not to be scoffed at all. But now the puppy has more creeps. He just hit level 6, by the way, about to hit level 7 as well. So he's just now hitting full potential as his support hero. So that might hurt him a bit, but hero level, he's actually at the bottom of the charts with Banana. So
Yeah.
this game's looking really even though. It's just neck and neck with every hero.
Look like the farm. It actually feels like it's slightly on the side of Navi right now, with the Naga doing so well for herself, being unpressured and getting. Didn't she get first blood? Or she got the second kill at the very least.
They were able to kill the Magnus pretty
Yeah.
early. He's got 1 kill and 1 assist, so he's doing a nice job.
Yeah, being untouched for the most part, not having to pick up regen as well, is really big.
Yeah.
I think at top, Hao actually had to ferry himself a salve, so a little bit of advantage going there. It looks like they want to pressure out this bottom tower. Dendi has a DD rune right now. Does he want to go in on this?
Where's Dendi sitting? Oh, on the bot lane. Okay.
And he
He's
has
got
a DD
treads
rune,
as well.
but
He's
it
got
is
some
about to
text speed,
fade, but
goes
he's
in.
going to go in.
Oh, the RP! That was so sick from Dendi! Oh my god, did you see that? He didn't even do the full-length ball lightning. He did like a 200 range ball lightning to say, I'm going in, buddy. He threw down the RP in prediction. That was the biggest screw you to King J I've ever seen. That was so sick.
And I want to know, that was actually going to look like it looked like it was going to be a decent play by King J. He's like, I'm going to predict this.
Yeah.
Dendi's going to roll into this. We're going to blow him up. But just actually waste the RP, and Navi's actually going to go in for mid, and that's the kind of Dendi that I want to see. That big playability.
Man, that is just like, holy cow. He just called his bluff so hard. And he
Oh wait, did he
blows-
kill another creep? It looks like he's killing all the creeps.
Who is?
With
Doom?
he just keeps demonic purging the creeps.
Oh, really? Is it just one-shotting them?
It looks like it.
No, I think there's only 2 creeps right now, and Chen is
He
only...
just did it right now though.
Did
He had the Wild Ring Ripper.
Huh.
He's level 7.
Dire's top tower
It was.
is under
It looked like it anyways.
Does it do bonus damage? 'Cause it's not a summon, though. It's like a creep pullover.
I don't know. He keeps doing it though on the creeps,
All right,
so maybe he
we
knows
gotta,
something
we
that
gotta
we
watch
don't.
this guy. I want you to do nothing else for the rest of this game until we
All right,
figure
that's
this out.
I'm the camera
You
for
watch this guy.
for
Shadow
the demonic purge.
Shadow Demon. They're TPing the bot lane, trying to defend things. Moo's at about half HP. Avosa running back as well. His mana's getting low, but he's almost got enough for his ultimate orb, so he's most likely going to make a Manta style. It's going to make it better for him split pushing, most importantly, but a little confusing for Dragon Knight. The downside of this fast Manta, though, they've already got tons of AoE with Gyrocopter. If he calls cooldowns on these illusions, they're going to die no matter what. So, do you really think Manta's the right choice here out of Naga Siren?
Yeah, I mean, it does add a lot for you just because you can go in, have like 7 illusions, or 5 of you, and it does add quite a bit of DPS and push potential, which
Yep.
is something that's really underrated from her. And it gives you a lot of necessary stats, but I would have liked to see something like a Diffusal or a Heart picked up, rather.
Well, Doom is still in the jungle. He's got his mech finished. Some nice armor on him.
Does he have a
and
mech?
HP. Yeah.
Oh,
finished it,
man.
man.
He's
16
almost level 9 as well.
Where's Shadow Demon? You watching him?
Okay, this is my only job for the rest of the game, to figure out what this demonic Purge is doing right now to these
They're
creeps.
close. Chen is close to him, man.
Alright, let's
try
see
to set
this.
up the gank. I don't know if Dragon Knight can see him or not. Havos is also in position level 11, so he's back to farming. 2,300 gold on him. Maybe he'll make a Diffusal Blade. Who knows? It doesn't have to be a Manta right away.
Yeah, it looks like they're all going to push out bottom right now. Funnick is still atop, trying to defend the tower from How. Only one tower taken this game so far. That's from Navi. It looks like they're gearing up to take a second one. Boss getting in position. Oh, is he going to net him?
He is. A little bit of right click on Moo. It's actually going to burst him. Oh, Stormspeed, look at the TP is coming immediately. Will be enough magic damage. Moo's getting low. Test Faith. Great disruption from Banana to keep him alive. And Sancheng's on the chase looking to doom somebody, but everybody's out there. Demonic Purge on top of Puppy. Not used on a creep here, and he's definitely going to go down, but he pops his heal
Doom
first.
goes on a
finds some
Voss.
time. Great Ice Path going to stop 2 and break the initiation. In the meantime, Denny's rumbling with King J in the jungle, or in the river, excuse me. A little bit more slow, and a TP now out from Jakiro. So they only lost 1, being the 4 position Chen. Not a big loss there. Tongfu did burn a lot of their cooldowns, including Doom. So if they can get back up and fight this fight, it could be a defense from Navi, but I don't know if they're going to bother.
Yeah, and he didn't blitz dota that. He actually got the Doom off on a hero. Doing a really good job there. Looks like they are going to take this tower with this, though. Looked like Havas was about to song as the Siren there, and at the last second able to get that Doom off.
Okay, so that's why he's got, yeah, it makes perfect sense. Because if he does get that off, it just breaks the initiation. Then he's at about 3/4 mana, so he could fight this if he wants to. But man, Tongfu is doing a really good job of shifting over and getting in position. Great
On a
ice
3-man
path.
ice
Oh,
path,
man,
and they're
vacuum as well.
vacuumed.
But then he's not quite sure he wants to go in on that. He's about half HP.
Oh,
He
Banana's
does dodge it.
so low.
Oh,
He's got to
wow.
go for that.
Easy kill for Dendy there. Burns a lot of mana, but the RP comes through. Ovos is going to get killed. The rest of Tongfu showing up. BKB on Gyrocopter, and Doom at this point a little limited. He's picked up the ice armor though. 8 extra armor for him and his allies. Crow is going to drop down the Macropyre Ice Path as well. Blocks him down. Lots of good damage to How.
Oh, and is he going to get King J at this top?
Pulls him through. How now taking right clicks, vacuuming. They're going to clean up everybody, I think. Moo running away. Dendy goes through. Only level 1. Ball lightning is so slow. Another slow on Moo. They need some more Iron Shell damage, and it's Dendy now. Ball lightning's in again. Another slow, but these guys are so tanky. They're going to stay alive just fine. Did How buyback? He did actually. Was that worth it? He's got the BKB up already, so he's got the item he needs for now. But that's going to limit his mid game, our second item. They will take a tower from this, though.
Yeah, what a play by Dendy as well. Being able to pull him onto that high ground and get a free kill, and they're actually going to go right back in. Dendy's got full mana this time, and there's no Doom up.
So great vacuum as well. The call down comes. Dendy trying to finish off Moo. The guy's so hard to kill. Dendy does get Doom, though. Will they be able to save him? Ice Path, Dual Breath. Dendy's running for his life. Somebody's got to deny this guy. He gets set back just in time. Dendy's to be able to survive. Disruption as well on top of the net. Navi is playing so well now. How's going to go down? That was after a buyback. Kuro. Oh, man. Here comes the Naga ulti. This is going to be a double Ice Path any second. Casted really late from Kuro, actually, so it's only going to cast King J. Banana's going to get finished off, though. Great net as well, and I guess it's now going to be the tier 1 going down for Tongfu.
What a save by Puppy, too. Just plays after plays by Navi. This seems like the one that feels really comfortable in their skin right now. Dendy going for those big plays, manning up left and right, and he actually looks like he might be going for a Linken's or a Hex. Picks up the ulti orb off the bat. And actually Puppy being sent back, but King J, I think this is the end of him.
Holy cow, that guy got bursted down really fast. Chen falls, Jakiro takes up the Magnus, and the tower, will it die to creeps, or a hero Ice Path's going to buy him a second, and it does get the tower kill. Great Ice Path from Kuro there to stop the heroes from right-clicking it.
Yeah, and actually, Havas is going to buy his item. It is going to be a Manta style. What a drag-out fight here. God, this game is so exciting right now.
Yeah, it's been
fighting
really
left
intense.
There was like a period where they lulled us to sleep, and it was like 3-4, and now it's fight after fight after fight. This is the great thing about Storm Spirit. As long as he has mana, cooldowns don't really matter to this guy.
Yep, it's pretty fun. He picks up an Ultimate Orb already, so indicative of either a Lincoln Sphere or a Sheep Stick. What do you think it's going to be? I've seen Denny go Sheep first before. It's going to be quite useful against heroes like Doom. He doesn't have to worry about who he jumps on then. Do you think it's going to be a Sheep or a Lincoln's?
I mean, judging by the heroes, maybe a Lincoln's wouldn't actually be too bad as a first item. Because a BKB wouldn't add too much utility to him. And a Lincoln's would actually help quite a bit. Are they going to jump in on How now that the tower's down? But no.
I don't think they can. Naga has no mana here. He's going to have to go back to base for sure. So.
Yeah, Banana just waiting in the wings.
some rocket barrage damage being done to the creep top. Gyrocopter at 800 gold, so he's quite a ways away from another major item. That buyback second death on him really cost him a lot.
Yeah, he's actually falling off quite behind, but he is actually leading in CS somehow.
Ooh, Denny's going to run into
Dendy
the
at
whole
top.
enemy team. Doom, is he get doomed? Great disruption, but actually that's a disruption on the enemy team. Can he ball lightning? RP gets the kill. Doesn't even have to use Doom, actually. Nice RP timing there.
Yeah, not going to mess that up this time. King J, they're going to pick up the kill on Dendy, and that's the scary thing for Dendy this game. There's so many abilities that are just going to blow him up, especially if he gets disrupted.
Yeah.
If they can time out just a little bit, he should be able to get blown up. But Funnick waiting in the wings right here. Are they going to fight this?
They do not have a glyph, so if they want to fight this, they've got to go.
Oh, they know he's there.
There's a surge. Here comes the vacuum. Wall, ice path as well. Dual breath, macro fire, so much AoE damage. Funnick's going to pay for this one with his life, but he's so far doing pretty good. Naga Siren actually blocking a ton of that damage, so a little bit misused there. And Denny's in there, half HP. He takes the soul catcher. He's got to be careful. And now he gets doomed. Not a good team fight for Navi. Damage on Sansheng, but that
Banana's actually going to live.
Banana's running for his life. There's the Riptide going for the
The
kill.
stun gets off
now.
as well.
Oh,
Havas
man.
has to. Oh, he actually doesn't have his ultimate either.
It's
and that
over.
looks like a team.
Man, Navi, big time misplays there. I didn't notice it until the end of the fight, but I was like, why is this Doom taking no damage from the macro pyre? It was a perfect setup there, but I think what happened was Havos popped
Oh,
his
and
ulti.
Puppy's going to get caught out here too. And that's
Oh,
another
man.
death. But Kuro does get sent back. All of his creeps are going to die. It just felt like they were trying to defend that tower when they didn't actually need to. Once Funnick was trying to make a big play, waits in the left, but Banana throws the Shadow Poison and he's like, well, guys, I think he's there. And although it doesn't give vision, it was sufficient enough to scare Funnick. And Funnick was like, oh, they know I'm here. I have to go for this.
No, their play was honestly fine, I think. Like, they maybe didn't have to fight it, but they had the vacuum with wall onto 4 heroes, the ice path and the macro pyre. The problem was, I'm pretty sure the Naga ulti was going off that whole time. So the first 2-3 seconds of initiation, they prevented all the vacuum damage, the setup from the wall, and the ice path macro pyre. It didn't do damage until he turned off his ulti, but it was like 2 seconds after the initiation. It was just a big misplay, I think.
Yeah, and Dendy got doomed, just immediately blown up there. Funnick was also blown up. And the mech from the Doom made all the difference in that fight as well.
Did it really?
Yeah, and he's actually picked up a Shadow Blade now too.
Cool.
That's going to make things really difficult now for Dendy.
Yeah, it's a smart pickup because he's going to be able to initiate on Dendy now, or go solo ganking for the guy, especially with his Scorched Earth at lower levels and his level death at higher levels. He can just initiate, go invisible, pop Doom, and follow this up with some damage. He even picks up a Thunderclap, stealing some creeps from Chen there.
Yeah, and a Blink Dagger picked up now on King J. They didn't have this before, but now they do. It's just going to make the team fight so much more difficult, and that's the issue with losing a team fight like that and a tower. You're going to surrender so much experience and items. He's actually picked up his level 11 now, so his ultimate actually isn't going to do, you know, little dink damage. It's going to do quite a bit now.
Yep,
Wu's actually got quite a bit of gold too. He's got 2,000 gold. But the big pickup here is Sansheng. He does have a Shadow Blade now, so that's a lot of damage and free initiation off on Dendy.
There's a lot of sheep sticks on the way for Navi, I think. Dendy has his ultimate orb, as does Funnick, actually. Funnick skipping the mech. Chen was able to farm that up in the meantime, so it's a mech Arcane Boots on Chen. Looking pretty good. A lot of BKBs on Tongfu. If this does get late game, the BKBs will get lower. Actually, we're going to see a Doom on Havos on the bot lane. That's going to be an easy kill here. So they pick up another kill, 14 to 10 at the meantime. If we look at the graphs, it's a gold advantage for Tongfu as well as an EXP advantage for them. Game is not over by any means. Navi is still farming very, very well. They will go late game with the Naga Siren as well as the Storm, which are going to have options. But man, that last team fight loss felt really huge to me.
Yeah, that's the bad thing about the Naga sleep, right? You can either get a free initiation, but if your timing is just a little bit off, it can turn around so quickly on you.
Wards are going down, a little couple sentries as well. Tongfu's grouped up. They want to go for another initiation. 69 seconds actually for Doom, so he's going to be fine not fighting. Same with Magnus, actually. They're pretty much all on cooldown. If Navi fought right now, this would be pretty good for them.
Yeah, but at the same time, there's quite a decently heavy farm disadvantage now, I think. Let's take a look at the gold graph.
It's a moderate amount, but it's not a massive amount. They can definitely still fight through this. But they have so many hero counters, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, and the team fight just seems to be going the way of Tongfu right now. The experience earned, totally curving off right now in favor of Tongfu too.
They don't
going to deward.
They don't have that much detection on Navi either, and there's now 2 Shadow Blades on Tongfu. One on Doom and one on Gyrocopter. Or, I'm sorry, on Dragon Knight. Gyrocopter himself has picked up his Demon Edge now. He's almost got his MKB, so he's going to have some serious damage output. Even a late game Butterfly from Naga Siren is not going to be in the cards.
Yeah, and it looks like she actually is going to go for that Diffusal Blade now, picking up that Blade of Alacrity and the Robe of the Magi. So just going to get some damage out here. on Havast. And some chasing ability too.
I'm not a huge fan of the later diffusal like this though. There's so much magic immunity now on Tongfu. Dragonite's not going to take the mana burn during the team fight. Gyrocopter's not going to take the mana burn. So it's limiting the ability of her to use that item a bit. So I don't know if it's really the right pickup here, but it will help her kill the squishies a lot faster. And the extra agility is good for pushing.
Yeah. And now it's kind of evolved into a more passive farming game. Who's just picking up the farm here in mid. Looks like they're clearing out their own jungle, both teams. Waiting for maybe 1 or 2 more items. Dendi, I think they're going to wait for a core item before they decide to fight on him.
Yeah, he is going to need the sheep stick though. He's a bit away. He needs about 600 gold until his Mystic Staff, and then 875 until he has the Void Stone. So it's going to be a bit. But once he does grab that, he can jump on a hero like Doom. That's probably the hero they need to blow up. But they have so many big ultimates, actually. Whether that's Doom or Magnus or even the Dragon Knight, throwing a stun on a core hero is pretty nasty. So it's going to be tough for him to jump on a hero and not get shut down right after it.
Yeah, and House picked up his MKB. I mean, fighting into... If you go aggressive, then King J's going to get an ultimate off. Big Magnus RP.
Yeah.
And there's the call down to follow. There's a lot of AoE to follow as well. I mean, Moo's going to hit level 16 soon, and once he gets that Frost Dragon, the Blue Dragon, it's just called Blue Dragon. I don't know why. It should be slightly cooler than that, don't you think? But
Which? Oh, his
it's just
third
called
dragon.
Blue Dragon. Well, I'm going to call it a
What
Frost
color are
Dragon.
his eyes?
What?
Oh wait, that's a white dragon. Sorry. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh joke. Thank you.
Ah! Oh, you lost all my respect, but it looks like they're going to fight for this
I didn't play the
Roshan.
game. Okay, guys. Let's do it. I just love the TV show. When I was 17.
And this is a free Roshan, I think. I don't know if Navi's going to fight this. Dendi, are you going to go crazy?
Does he have the Sixth Sense? Nope. It's going to go down. Gyrocopter takes the Aegis. Will they gank off of this? They can use the gem to deward very easily. Observer wards are pretty dead now. If we take a look at Navi's vision, they are mostly blind. They've got to be really careful. And this is why they're sitting 4 heroes with each other. Naga Siren, on average, is going to have to farm somewhere else because he has to increase his GPM to try to carry the game. But the rest of the heroes, if any of them get initiated on, they need to be able to cover.
Yes. And actually, it looks like Tongfu might be comfortable with pushing now. They've got a lot of items. Doesn't look like they're going to wait for anything more. They have an Aegis out on the Gyrocopter too. So I think this is their signal to try to push in. And it looks like they're 4-man smoked right behind Hao. We don't actually see this work too often, just because, you know, you have to know it's coming, but...
Oh, great RP, catching 2 puppies, as well as Kuro are going to go down immediately. Very, very easy kills there. Grab all the wards, kill them, and then they're going for the gank. Dendi's going to do some split pushing in the meantime. He has about 1 wave. They're going to ping this, but they're like, do we go back and kill him? Doom could do this, though. He does have the Shadow Blade. If he goes back in and catches Dendi with the Doom, he could snag the kill, but Dendi very wisely is now going to TP out, I think.
That was so smart by Tongfu, just because usually when you 4-man smoke like that, you're going to sit behind the carry, but instead they realize that they're strong enough to fight without him, and Navi's like, oh, they have to be behind him. We'll spend this time trying to catch up and farm, maybe get a better positioning, but then they actually just get blown up.
Yeah, it didn't go so well for them. They're taking the tier 2 tower. More illusions come into Riptide as well as Iron Shell. It doesn't matter. Tower gets destroyed by the Gyrocopter. His MKB is too much, and now they're going to retreat. Big wave on the bot lane. Little extra farm built up for Gyro here.
And he's going to call down for this. No problem. The cooldown is so low at this point. 45 seconds. And that's another major item going to come up for almost everyone on Tongfu. There's 1,700 gold on the Doom. There's 1,700 on King J as well. The Dragon Knight actually has just about 3k. And same on the Gyrocopter. So Navi getting further and further behind in farm.
Well, they do have a double sheep stick window coming up in a second, but they're going to grab a haste rune and go. They might be able to snag.
They might actually find Hao. Or Mu, I mean, but they're actually going to go to the left.
I don't think they have detection either. Do they have anything? They have 2 sentries on Chen, that's it. So killing the Dragon Knight, not going to happen unless Chen happens to be right on the front. Yeah. I guess if they ensnare him, they're set. They could do a stun into ensnare, but they don't have very good disables for range.
That was a little bit scary, just by Mu being that far out.
Yeah.
Considering he knows that everyone's missing. They have to know this smoke gank is coming. This is one of those desperation things, too. When you're quite far behind, because, I mean, I think it's Fluff that said it. If you 5-man smoke gank like this, you know, you have to know that everyone's off the map, and this is coming.
Yeah, the waves aren't at the safest place ever, so there is a possibility that they're just farming jungle. And actually, if we see the Gyrocopter, he's a little out of position. The rest of his support heroes aren't there. Dragon Knight sitting on the mid lane. We're going to see some more jungle creeps going down, but I assume, looks like Navi says, okay, whatever, it's pretty obvious. Hard carry is just baiting this one out, and the rest of them are pretty far back, but if they actually jumped on him right now, they could kill him, maybe.
Maybe. Does have the Aegis.
That's a good point. as well as BKB.
Yeah, because if you blow everything on him, then... Oh, and it looks like Shadow Bladed Sunshang, though.
There's
Boss
the
gonna pop the ult.
Wow.
Are they gonna actually go in on this?
Man, the coordination is just not there. The Navi or Havos wanted to fight. The rest of his team said, no, it's not time.
And Moo's actually coming in from the rear. He's actually just gonna be okay to kill this creep.
Poor little creep.
It had to die, man.
He did it the regular way, too. He didn't even have a Midas. What is this? Dendy's literally 10 gold away from finishing his Sheepstick. Why doesn't he grab this? I mean, there's an illusion rune, but Sheepstick...
He's gonna go for it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay, he bought it with his courier. I'm sorry.
So they are smoked up again. Looks like they are gonna try to counter pressure mid, realizing that a 5-on-5 engagement at this point isn't gonna be worth it. So here's what you talked about. They've got their 2 big core items. They've got 2 Sheepsticks. If you can't fight with this at this point, you can't really fight, just because Tongfu's steadily out farming you. Now, it looks like Tongfu has no interest in backing, and Navi's not set up for this at all. Is Song of the Siren back up? No, 60 seconds left to go. This is going to be a difficult fight for Navi.
The Wild Wind Ripper gets killed. Tower gets killed as well. We have Funnock running back. He actually doesn't have a TP scroll. He had one before, but I think he must
he's going to have to run all the way back, and it looks like this is going to be a free Rax. There's no glyph either.
Can they defend it? It's going to be really,
no, it's
really
going to just
low.
be a free Rax.
Yeah, he's going to be too late. He
Without
grabs
Song,
Purge
you
now.
can't go in.
Yeah, you're probably right. Against all of these BKBs, it's going to be so tough. So, free Rax is taken by Tongfu. Navi not able to defend this.
Oh, are they going to just go back in?
Ooh, did they smoke? Oh, they didn't. No, they just have a
they
ton
just
of
Shadow Bladed.
Blades.
Their mass Shadow Blade team just kind of walked in, waltzed in.
Maybe their English isn't perfect, and when you said Helmet the Dominator, they thought Shadow Blade. I think that's what it is.
You know what? That might just be right.
Yeah, that's probably right. I'm sure that's it. Shadow Demon picks up a Force Staff, buying Smoke as well. Man, their heroes just really have all the core items that they need.
That could be it, though, Kevin. I told my mom, get me Pop-Tarts. And you know what she brings me?
What?
Toaster strudels. Not the same thing at all.
That's the best mistake I've ever heard.
No, that's the worst.
What?
Who actually likes toaster strudels?
Dude, they are easily 4 times better than a Pop-Tart. Pop-Tart.
How do you quantify something like that?
I currently own Pop-Tarts, and I wish those were toaster strudels.
Wow, this is the most intense debate we've had at the studio so far, but...
How do
Getting back into this game,
so wrong about food all the time.
Navi wasting that Song of the Siren at top, you condescending. Okay, getting back on topic. At the top, they wasted the Song of the Siren, unable to fight, and Funnock caught out without a TP as well. Makes it so difficult for them to do anything.
You know what's the worst thing right now?
What? You can't get over this, can
you?
you?
Your mom's an idiot, but really she just loves you, and like that was her way of telling you. She's like, I'm gonna spend a little extra, and you just think she's dumb.
Dude,
Making fun of
I
her
wanted some
for
those
30,000
new
people.
chocolate Pop-Tarts.
Oh, those are so bad. I bet. I haven't had them, but they probably suck.
Alright,
let's move on.
so Hart
Put
picked
you in
up
your
on
place.
Moo. Sansheng actually picks up the BKB of his own. Oh god, there's so much farm on the way of Tongfu right now.
Yeah.
Everyone is geared up, stacked from head to toe. And it looks like, I think they can actually sit behind How at this point, even though he doesn't have the Aegis, and he can just push in, because he's got a Butterfly as well at this point.
Man, that's scary. They do really have a lot of scary carries. They've got Dragonite, not really a hard carry here, but with the Shadow Blade and a Heart, he's going to hit pretty darn hard. And they have Empower, so he gets some bonus damage there. Gyrocopter is absolutely capable. And even Doom, this was the 4-roll guy, but with Devour, he can really accelerate his gold pickup. And now he's got Magic Immunity from the BKB. I mean, if Song of the Siren goes up, it could be a 3v5 team fight here.
Yeah, and they weren't actually able to pressure him at all, which is kind of what you can do when there's a Doom on the other team. The counter to it is that. But Song of the Siren gonna come in.
Who are they going to go on? Dendy's gaining position. He's got a haste ring.
Looks like they're going to try to find Sansheng.
Sansheng's going to be the one. He pops BKB though. Dendy, is he going to ball anyway?
Oh, and he dodges the RP.
Great escape from him. Banana probably going to go down, but he does get doomed ultimately. Hobos running for his life. Here comes the macro power. Buys him a little bit of time, but Dendy running. He's going to get killed. Demonic Purge is being used. Dendy drops. 4 dead heroes for Navi. I'm expecting a GG, and there it is. That's it. 2-0 Tongfu dropping Navi. I mean, they lost the first game really one-sided. This game was less one-sided, but I thought Navi really looked strong that first 20 minutes. Like, they really did. Before the team fight top, they had some solid plays and ganks, but it just wasn't enough. I mean, Tongfu's draft adjustment was beautiful. The Doom pickup to counter the Storm was so smart. I really loved that pick.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that if you pick up a Doom like that, you have to punish it in some way. He has such a difficult time jungling and then running away if he gets ganked at all.
Yeah.
Or if a team fight were to happen, he's not like a standard jungler we can actually come to fight, right? But he was left uninterrupted. Navi didn't put enough pressure, and eventually it just... I mean, every time it was Dendi getting doomed or Naga Siren getting doomed before she could pop her ultimate, just having such a difficult time. And it looked like that Storm pickup, it looked smart at first, but Dendi's farm steadily started to decline. And Tongfu with a 4-core lineup and Banana playing the solid safe support that he normally does, able to pick up the win.
Yeah, so congrats to Tongfu. They had an excellent game there, able to take out Navi 2-0. Not necessarily the result we were expecting to see. I know there's a lot of fanaticism for Navi going into this Group B to see how they were doing. Let's keep in mind they just got to China. It could be some various issues, such as sleep deprivation, or I just flew on an airplane for like, what, 15 hours or something, but who knows. They take 0-2. Let's hear what you guys have to say on the desk.
Wow, what a game. What a performance from Tongfu. They take the series 2-0, and I think the big thing for me and what we kept on talking about, well, I guess there's two factors. One is Navi needed to get more done in the laning stage, and the reason is because when you get to the mid game, they had no physical damage. They just had no way to actually kill the Dragon Knight, the Doom, the Gyro. These heroes were very tanky. Once the BKBs come out, sure you can net them with Naga, but they couldn't actually kill anybody.
But Gyro's going to stand still anyways.
Yeah, they'll just sit there and flat cat and hit your whole team regardless. So it's like, how much does net really do against that hero?
Yeah, so, I mean, their early game was pretty strong. They killed Magnus a couple times. They, like, zoned him out a little bit, and Naga got free farm, but that wasn't enough. Darkseer didn't get the levels that he needed or to farm. Sure, he got a sheep at 30 minutes along with Arcane Boots, but that's not really where you want to be 30 minutes in, especially with a Chen in your lineup. So they had Chen, Storm, and Jakiro. Those three heroes are like absolutely useless versus BKBs, and especially if you have a heart on Dragon Knight, like they have no physical damage to deal with it. And even if Naga gets farmed, they have so many solutions to deal with it. They have RP, they have Doom if Naga does not get a Linken's, which he did not. I actually did not like the Manta first choice. And then you have Gyrocopter Flag, and then you have like double Empower on Gyro or Dragon Knight
with a heart.
Yeah,
which
I mean
all that bonus strength giving you extra Empower damage.
Right, I do like Tongfu's lineup though. They drafted pretty well, and most of the time we just see Storms run rampant and just like totally completely snowball. But they had a lot of like, even if you take out Magnus out of the equation, they still have Doom. And even if you take out Magnus out of the equation, they have Dragon Tail. All three of these heroes are pretty good at dealing with them.
It was a really hard game to be Storm. You get doomed, you're probably dead. You get Dragon Tailed, if you're not dead, you're certainly running. There's a lot of physical damage, a lot of burst during that stun. And end of the day, Dendi, I felt like he had to play perfectly in the mid game for them to even have a chance. He played really well, but not perfectly. Did get caught off a few times, and you look at that last fight, it looked all right for Navi if they were in a better position financially, if they had big items, if Tongfu weren't so farm. But I felt like it wouldn't even matter at that point. If they got a perfect vacuum, Ice Path follow-up, nobody gets off their BKBs, Macro Pyres dropped, they pop their BKBs, and Navi's just going to run the hell away.
It seems like the only
they're
team
not
fights
taking that
they could have lost, team fights that Navi won were the ones where Tongfu actually made a mistake. Like they overextended really deeply into the T1, and then after that, like they didn't really win any fights. Magnus was very smart about his positioning and stood way in the back. Even if he doesn't get stormed, he'll get at least 2 or 3, and then that's pretty much over. Because at that point, they had to use Song of Siren to initiate, and what are you going to do after that's down?
And it's something that we actually saw at the International too. There was an interview that I believe Team Liquid did with Xiao8. He talked a lot about Naga Siren and how the Chinese teams like to use that hero at the time, and it's pretty much the same hero nowadays. She got a base damage nerf. That was the big thing. Her Riptide has actually gotten stronger. It's 10-second cooldown at all levels. I believe that might have been nerfed and then reverted. But either way, hero's pretty similar to how it was at the International too, and I guess the big thing for them is they don't run it as a one position. They don't run it as the primary damage dealer.
Right.
It's a utility hero. It's your setup hero. You might give it safe lane farm. But with Riptide having a 10-second cooldown, you can get so much done in the laning stage. You can push aggressively. You can get a lot of kills. You create space for somebody else. And the thing is, they're creating space for Storm, who, what does he do against BKBs? There's just not much.
He needs so many items, too. He needs, like, BKB to deal with the stuns. And he needs Lincoln Sphere, and he also needs damage.
And even if you get Lincolns, if Doom's really quick, leveled SU, Doom's you immediately.
Yeah, and they had Shadow Blade. That gem loss was a huge deal. Like, being able to just, like, run around and pick off anybody you want with 2 Shadow Blades, especially on, like, really nice disablers like Doom and Dragon Knight's a really big deal. And they just, like, lost complete map control after that.
Great performance from Tongfu. They're going to take the opening match of today's Group B action for the Alienware Cup 2-0. We'll take a quick break, guys. We'll be back in about 20 minutes or so to preview our next match. Actually, we can take a quick look at the schedule here, Kawa, just so everyone can see what's coming up. And there you go. Schedule now online. It'll be a 2-0 victory for Tongfu, and then IG versus Orange. That'll be our next match. We'll get the pre-show underway in about 20 minutes' time. Merlini's excited. I'll be casting that one with you, buddy. We'll put in the A team here. Give the B teamers a bit of a rest. Shots fired.
You didn't even pick up the gem pickup. I hate you guys.
I didn't.
Merlini was
I
flaming you.
was like, what? There's a gem on the ground. You guys didn't even know.
Sometimes you don't see it, guys. I think you know that very well.
Dude,
I
okay, we
think
need to
his
have
feelings are hurt.
Sometimes B teamers don't see.
Oh man, I can't. I'm gonna watch the next game, and the first
We're just
time
gonna
you make a
nitpick
mistake,
the
I'm just
shit
gonna,
out of you.
I'm gonna
LDZ
run up
did it
to the
first.
desk. I'm gonna punch you in the face and be like, "You
Jesus.
missed the support."
You're
We're
damage."
the stronger Asian white man combo.
Yeah, definitely.
This is Merlini right now. He's just like.
Hey, I was just following your lead.
Yeah, actually, I guess you brought out the shotgun. And you're just like with the recoil.
You gotta finish him off.
Well,
Mortal Kombat style.
yeah, we'll execute them later. But for now, guys, thanks for tuning in. That's gonna wrap up our first opening match of the day. We'll see Navi for the final set, but for now, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. It'll be Orange versus IG in about 20 minutes time.